afternoon, whatever it is. This lockdown's sort of really getting to me now because I'm starting to forget, well, what day of the week it is and times of things. I'm not a shaven weeks, so I apologise about the Gruffalo beard. But this week we've had a few more bits arrive, so we're just going to fit some basic parts. So first off, we are removing this whole part here. This is like the IVAC system and also the brake booster, but I've got another plan for the brake booster and I don't need the IVAC system, so I've got to remove the IVAC system from here. We essentially just buy it from, I think Tegucigalpa sell a kit, block it here and block it here. So at the minute that's going to stay as it is. What I do have, because I've got to have somewhere obviously to mount the throttle cable, which will loop round and go into here. So K-tuned, the lovely K-tuned, have come up with this little part, which is a K-swap throttle cable, which should bolt on somehow. I've not even looked at it yet. Should bolt on somehow and allow me to run the throttle cable. The next problem is the fuel rail. Now the fuel rail on the Civic obviously runs from this side, but on the Mini it runs from the other side, and I can't really mess around, well I don't really want to mess around with these too much, so I need something that plugs in this side. I also have a plan with that, but before you say it, can't you just turn it round? Which theoretically you could, but then obviously it's not been bolted in anywhere and I don't really fancy that, but obviously that would then fit. So we'll remove that, and in place of that is something I've ordered from Hybrid Racing, which is a full Hybrid Racing K-swapped fuel rail. So that'll be going on today. So it's a kind of sorting bits out today, or this week. The next part is really, really important. We've got to get rid of this gold horrible thing. And to get rid of this gold horrible thing, we've got a Mugen one in silver to match all the other bits of silver that I've been adding to the engine. So without further ado, we're going to fit the K-tuned, then we're going to fit the fuel rail, and then this will be last. Now if I'm being honest, there's probably not that much of a difference between these two parts, but this is going to look miles better. So we're going to fit it. It's going to hold the throttle cable in here. With the throttle cable, you've seen on the last video that although I could open and close the throttle, it wasn't quite opening and closing fully. So I've had to order a DC5 throttle cable, which should be with me next week. So we're going to finish modifying the Mini throttle pedal with the DC5 throttle cable to plumb in to this K-tuned part. So that'll be next week. Okay, so we're going to scratch that. We're going to put the OEM one back on. The reason for that is, I don't know if I've ordered the wrong part. I probably ordered the wrong part. This essentially sits here like this. But the problem is that although at the minute it looks like it sits in the right place, when this is tightened fully down, there, it sits in completely a different area. Sorry about the dodgy camera work, this is me doing mechanics one-handed. So if I just tighten that like so, and then sit this one in the same area, you can see how it doesn't quite line up. it just sits way too far over. So I'm gonna have to, I don't know, I might keep that and reuse it another time. But for now, the OEM one's gonna have to go on. So I'll put this on and we'll move to the fuel rail. I suppose that's what you get when you're just trying to order parts for a car that you don't really know what you're ordering. You're just hoping it'll work. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on. Now, I know this is going to work, unlike the last part, because Hybrid actually sends you, it's really hard to see in this light, these two little plugs. One I've already put in one end, and the other is already open. But they also send you this little beautiful thing, which will screw in to the other end, but also, more importantly, fit in here. So we're going to do that. Now, to give you an idea of cost, the hybrid fuel rail from Sumo Power was £150. Quite a lot, but it is a high flowing thing, so it'll help in the long run. I'm just taking the injectors off, but first obviously you've got to take the retaining clips off, and then they should, in theory, come out. So I am just going to reuse these injectors because there's nothing wrong with them. They've not been damaged whilst I've been working on the car. They've pretty much been inside, unless I damage one now of course, they've pretty much been inside the car the whole time, because obviously I didn't want rain getting in, so it's one part that I've not bothered taking out until this moment. So now I've got this ready, so I've put the nib on, tightened it, I've tightened this little bung up, and I've tightened the end bung up. So I'm going to plug the injectors in and get it bolted on. Another job boxed off is the brake booster. Still not fitted it properly yet, but follows this line. Now usually on the Honda it would go through these pipes, follow the back of the car and go all the way to the back. On the Mini it's a little bit easier. So on the Mini I can connect it here. I can feed it, essentially just connecting this pipe onto the end of the OEM Mini brake booster and tucking it away underneath there so it's out of the way. And then this, I've just rerouted it underneath the wiring, and obviously it's up here in its stock location. So that's another job ticked off the box this week. The only thing I'm not happy with is a little thing, is that the Mugen badge sits on a bloody wonk. But anyway, I've not bolted this down, although it's fitted and it's on, because I don't know if you can see, but this hybrid doesn't have any clips to hold the injectors onto the actual fuel rail. And I just want to make sure that obviously I'm not missing anything. So I'm going to go in and do some investigation over the next couple of days on that. But it looks great. Quite happy with how it looks. So yeah, next week we'll be back. We'll be fitting the throttle cable with the DC5 throttle cable. We'll be routing it through the pedal behind the junction here, and it'll go straight down. It'll be long enough. I may have to route it around the engine bay a little bit more, but the EP3 one was just too short, and it just wouldn't, well, open it all the way, but then it wouldn't really close because it was so stretched. So a bit of work to do, but that's for next week. So a bit of a simple video this week. Really easy installs, obviously nothing too strenuous, but if you're liking what you see, then please like, share and subscribe, and I'll be sort of letting you guys know as and when I do stuff on the Mini. At the minute it's slowed down. I'm waiting for parts, but to get parts I've got to have some money. And with the COVID situation, I'm watching every penny and trying not to spend too much money on stuff that I don't need. Probably a bit like that Tegua part from K-Tuned. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'll see if I can reach out to Tegua and see what they would recommend. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you again on the next one.